NFT show. We've had some great teams, great interviews, past episodes. Pixel Vault, Art Blocks, Robotos, The Doge Pound, Oniforce, Crypto Dads, Lazy Lions, Supduck, Sappy Seals, and more. We also did an NFT giveaway. We got more giveaways coming soon. We also have NFT merchandise coming soon, so stay tuned. We got a great show planned today. Joining us once again, the team behind Robotos. We love the Botos. This is the roadmap. All right, everyone, as you heard me say, this is the roadmap, Benzinga's NFT show, all things NFT news, drops, what you want to hear about. We also do interviews. We have a team joining us once again. Before we get into today's interview, though, let me bring on my co-host, Maz. Maz, what's going on, buddy? How you doing today?
Good, man. How you doing today, Chris?
Doing great, doing great. Another week here, another week gone by. A lot happening in the NFT world. And shout out to everyone joining us in the chat. We got a lot of loyal fans here, and Maz, I'm already seeing the beeps, the boops. We have Robotos coming back on. We love the Botos. I love that interview we did before, and definitely excited for today's interview too. So shout out to the chat. Say hi if you are new, and let us know, what you're looking forward to with today's interview or in the NFT world.
Exactly. And, it's crazy, Chris, because last time we had Robotos on, was what, like 3 or 4 months ago. I can't even remember. But it's crazy to see them. We had them on, right after launch, and to see everything they've done, since the last time they were on. Such a great team. I'm excited for this episode. That we have a lot of questions to ask, Pablo, who is the founder, and the artist. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I mean, great intro there, Maz. Last time we had Pablo on, months ago, right? It seems like, the show's still new, but we have been going for a little while. And yeah, they've accomplished so much since the last episode. Robo Pets, we got partnerships. We also have a TV show coming. I mean, Maz, when we do these interviews with these teams, that's one of those topics we always hear about. So we're going to get to hear more about a Robotos show. Super excited. It looks like we have Pablo ready to go in the background. Just want to let everyone know we are going to display comments on the screen today. So let us know. Drop those comments in the chat, and also drop your questions in for Pablo, and we will try to get to them during the interview. Again, shout out to the chat for joining us on here. Well, Maz, let's go ahead. Let's bring on the man himself, the artist, the founder of Robotos, Pablo Stanley. Pablo, welcome back to the road.
Pablo.
Hello.
I love the wig, love the glasses, love the vibes, man.
What wig? What are you talking about? This is my hair.
This is your hair, huh? It looks great, man. I love it.
Thank you. It's just like it's this whole NFT space. It just turned my hair white. A lot of stuff happening.
Same. I got it up top here. So yeah.
What's up?
Pablo,
how are we doing?
We are doing great. We're so happy to have you back on. We've done a lot of interviews, and we always like bringing teams back, right, when they have new stuff to talk about. And Pablo, there's a lot to get into with Robotos. So let's go ahead. For any new listeners or viewers out there who aren't familiar with Robotos, just wondered if you could just give a brief summary and break it down for new people out there, what Robotos is all about.
Yeah, so Robotos is a collection of droid characters. It's an art collection of droid characters that were generated randomly, and they're all unique. So it's a PFP project. Now the Robotos has has been around out for around 4 months, I think, or 3 to 4 months, and we have been creating just like an amazing community. Right now, there are around 5,400 collectors. And well, collectors of Robotos, plus people who also are collectors of Robo Pets. And Robotos is just it's about like having about the art, about creating a community, about creating together, about telling stories, and just about having a good time. So yeah, that's and I can tell you a little bit about like what Robotos is. Robotos are characters that live in a world in the future, and all the stories revolve around the Robotos and the communities that have in the lore that has been created around them.
Love it. We love the Batos. Again, that was for anyone who's not familiar with Robotos, but I know a lot of our listeners and viewers are familiar with this project. I mean, the art jumps off the screen at you. We got vibrant colors, we got cool robot designs, we got animal traits and characteristics thrown in there. And
Yeah.
speaking of animals, Pablo, since the last time you were on, we also got the launch of Robo Pets. So
Correct.
tell us about the pets and why that project is so important and how it helps continue the ecosystem of Robotos.
Yes, so RoboPets were are a new collection that we dropped in October, and it's a collection of little companions to every Roboto. And RoboPets are I'll tell you a little bit about the technical aspect and the art aspect and like how they were created. And they were created in something that we call the Robotos Workshop. And to create a RoboPet, you had to go to a Roboto workshop and claim one of your RoboPets. So as a Roboto collector, you could claim a RoboPet for every Roboto that you had. And something that made these RoboPets unique is that they all shared at least one trait with their parent, with the Roboto parent. So there's at least one of the traits. So if your Roboto has had a mohawk, for example, there's a chance that your RoboPet will have a mohawk too. Now there are different types of RoboPets. So the most common ones are the ones that are just like puppies and kitties. But there were also koalas, there were also pigs, rabbits, lions, a little bit of everything. And oh yeah, there you go. You see them here, and all of these. There were new traits on these RoboPets, but there were also like traits that were shared with the original collection from Robotos. Again, just to have some matching traits between the RoboPet and their parent Roboto. So, oh, you can see here that there was something the community wanted. They wanted a cat dog. So there is a cat dog RoboPet, and as you can see, like on the side, on the art side, everything like we went full in on the artwork, almost every trait is animated. So like before on the original Robotos, like only the bodies and the eyes were animated, but here we added animations to some of the accessories, some of the bodies, some of the tops too are animated, and this makes them really alive. Now RoboPets and Robotos, well, they share like the ID of your RoboPet is like their parent is the same ID as their Roboto parent, and that's where there are matching traits. And also, like now we're creating some utility to RoboPets. One of it is going to be about like if you have a RoboPet, you'll have access to create something that we're calling the little studios and little like we're calling it the Microverse. And this is a little space where like for every robot or robopet that you have, you'll have the ability to create your own little world in Robotoland. So you'll have a studio, and you'll have creative control over these studios, and you can claim these little spaces. And we're super excited to do this, because like we're during the holidays, like we're taking time off. And when I say time off, is like time off from meetings and other stuff that usually just takes a lot of our time, to be able to just like go in and build and work on this stuff. So that's we're really excited on creating this microverse. The microverses are actually something that we're creating also to allow for other communities they can do. And we're starting with Robotos as one of the communities that this tooling that all Robotos and Robo Pet owners, collectors, will have an ability to have this studio. So that's one of the utilities. Also, like one of the things that we do in the workshop too is the ability to change the clothing, and we've been calling it the suit up, but maybe it should be wardrobe. I don't know. But the idea that for different occasions, for different seasons, or just like you just want to change the clothing of your Roboto and your Robo Pet, we're doing that. We have done this for Robotos. Now we're adding this for Robo Pets too, and it's just like something fun that we allow our collectors to have. And yeah, anyway, like a lot of little things. And for example, another thing that just happened, we had uh, an airdrop that we did with timepieces, and having a RoboPet gave you an ability to have one of these airdrops. There was a combination between RoboPets and one of the timepieces. So if you had those, like you were, you had access to that airdrop. And little things that we're doing for RoboPets slowly, but surely.
Love it. Pablo, you mentioned a couple things there. You know how Robo Pets have more animation to them. And then also the cat dog, being a call out from the community. So, my question for you as the leader of Robotos and also the artist, have you been pleased with the reception to Robo Pets from the community, and how has the community reacted to this new drop?
Well, I sometimes I get a little bit oh, sorry, get a little bit jealous from I think robots have gotten a lot of love, and it's like, hey, robots are cool too. It's just but I think after making robotos, like we learn a lot on the technical aspect, on the art also. Like when I created robotos, like I had an idea of the art, and went with it, and it was established. But then that art evolves, and the technical aspect and the development and the community evolves, and then suddenly, like RoboPets are, you can see that on the technical aspect we put a lot of work into it, but also on the art, it's just like, if like the art, let's say that the traits are like almost like 20 times what we did with Robotos. So it's there was a lot of love, a lot of effort, a lot of passion, and it's also this because like we were more in the space, and we had more experience working with the art and the technical aspect, and that allowed us to do more. So yeah, and the reception, I think it was good. I think people really liked the Robo Pets and the Robotos. So I want to think that it was good. And you mentioned Cat Dog, and this was as an artist, and as a team, we have been always been really receptive to the comments from the community. So we're always just listening to what the community has, like the ideas that they share, the things that they want to see in this happening. So like we're always like listening and trying to incorporate these kinds of things to the art.
What are some of your other favorite traits here from the Robo Pets here? I would love to highlight some of them right now since we have it on screen here.
I some things that were unique to Robopets are the bodies. So you can see that one of the things that came from the community, and something that we just wanted to do, was like having a Roomba, and it's just like where there's a little kitty and a puppy that they're on top of a Roomba. And
That's
you can see
dope.
they're just like bouncing and it's going. That was one. Also, like you can see there that Charlie the cat makes also an appearance. This is a trait that also existed in Robotos, and we brought the cat also there, and now it's behind as a backpack, and it used to be just like inside the body. I really like just like how one technical thing about like how the traits are incorporated in the different types of pets. You can see that for kitties, puppies, pigs, koalas, the like a lot of them, for example, will have the rough mohawk or the spikes, but you can see that the art is actually a little bit different because it was adapted to the different types of animals. So I don't want to say like, oh my god, look at all the work, because it's, but seriously, there was a lot of work put into it just to
Yeah.
like, okay, this is a puppy, so the spikes need to be a little bit more rotated and centered in a different way. So it was I don't know, it's on the technical side of this, it was really fun to just like figure out how to solve all of that. And yeah, and one of them are the cyborgies. So cyborgies are also like something that came up from the community, was like the cyborgy yak club. So now all the cyborgies, which are the little like almost like human like robotos that are there, those have their own community that has been created called the cyborgy yak club. So those are pretty cool too, and those are a little bit rare. And yeah, I don't know. I like them all. I don't want to give say my favorites, but usually punk traits are my favorite. I would say that.
Punk traits.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you did absolutely great with this work. I mean, the attention to detail is amazing. Just looking at these, are every little piece is, you can tell there's just so many details going on. They look great. Good job with that, man.
Yeah, thank you. And by the way, that we brought another illustrator designer to the team. So a lot of this was also, it wasn't just me. It was also help with Bure Boto. He's also on our team, and amazing work by him, and just like with from the community, just like all their input. Like while we were creating, we were pretty open about just like sharing the work as we were making it.
Yeah.
And I think it's awesome to have that feedback from the community and just like responding to that.
Love that. Love that. All right, changing gears here a little bit. You mentioned the Timepiece Airdrop. Talk to us a little bit. How did that come to be? Because I have seen the Time magazine seems to be involved in a lot of NFTs, and I love that. And it's such a cool collab. So tell us a little bit more about how that, became to be.
I think just like Time, the team at Time are, like you're saying, are really involved with the NFT community, being led by Keith Grossman,
Yeah.
an amazing leader that they have there, the president at Time, and just like the whole team, like Maya, Taimo, like they're creating their own Web3 team, like internally, and it's. We were just fortunate and lucky that I don't know, we grabbed their attention somehow with Robotos, and they saw, I think the community has, it's like the community has really good vibes, and it's really welcoming. I think that they saw something in that, and they said like, hey, you know what, let's do something together. And it after that, like we started like just chatting with Keith, and then like with the team, and we have been just like uh, blessed. I would say I'm lucky to be able to work with them and collaborate with them. They are. I I keep saying this, but I'll say that I talk with other teams that want to get into the NFT, they're feeling the FOMO, whereas
Yeah.
like big brands, like at the level of Time, or maybe not even at the level of Time, and they want to get into the space, but they don't. But they're newbies, like all of us were, and they don't know how to, and they don't know the terms and stuff. And you have to like, and when you talk with them, well, you have to go through the process of like a onboarding them and telling them like what this is all about, and why it's important to get into the space. Uh, And I was expecting when we started talking with the time team, I was expecting that maybe it was going to be like that, where you're just like, oh, okay, it's a big brand, it's a big team, and it might be a lot of bureaucracy, and they might not know what this is all about. So we're going to have to teach them all, you know.
Yeah.
And then I was with the team, and they were like on it, and I was like, they were teaching me. I was like, oh my god, these like this team just knows what's going on, and it's and you can see it because they have created their own collections. They are really involved, and it was an amazing experience just to go over that. And we have learned a lot from them, and we have just like after that we started talking about the idea of like, hey, let's bring Robotos and these ideas into, like, I don't know, like something that is a little bit more mainstream and potentially just like a TV show. And that's also something that we started talking about. And we 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 talked a little bit more, and then suddenly like, no, let's do it. So now we're also working on an animated TV show that is based on Robotos. And it's something that is really exciting because it's uh, just the idea of putting these characters and basing a story, basing it on what we created as a team, but also what the community has created, and how open Time Studios is to the idea of like involving the community in the creation of something like a TV show. It's really cool. So it's also something that we're really excited about.
That was actually perfect because that was my next question was tell us about this, TV deal with Time, and how it came to be. So, are Robo Pets going to be included in the show or just give us some details, man? We're excited for that. I can't wait to see this.
Yeah, exactly. Robopets are going to be a big part of this, and Robotos also. And Robotos started as like if we zoom out, Robotos are a part of this world, and there are other characters and other types of characters, and when we started talking about all these ideas with Time and with their VP on Time Studios, we just like, I don't know, there were sparks, there was some magic going on. Like for me as someone that tells like likes telling stories and sees, always tries to see an opportunity to make a doodle and make a little drawing and just like tell a story out of little things. It, sometimes I feel like a crazy person, like when I start talking about these things with anyone.
Yeah.
And but with them, it was the opposite. They were feeding off of this. It's like, oh, this is awesome. Let's, yeah, and what about this? And instead of like saying no, they usually said like, and what if this? And yes, and so because they're in that business of creating stories and also building worlds and building universes. So it was an amazing experience just to talk to them and just like how uh, 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 involved they wanted to get into creating something together. So now we are in the process of like creating this new story, and yeah, it's something that we're going to be doing next year.
Do you have a timeline on when next year? And also, will people be able to use their Robotos to be in the show, or can you give us a couple more details on that? Because I mean, this
I,
is exciting stuff, man.
I don't know how much I can share. It's weird because at the end of the day, there's still like all the legality about like IP sharing and all that.
Yeah.
And but I can tell you that we're starting to uh, talk about like the pilot work first on the pilot. So that's something that will potentially have in the first or second quarter of the year. Just all of this is also just like it's an animated show, so it takes a lot of time just in
Yeah.
the production of it. So it's which might feel a little bit like like when I can see the animated give when
When?
with this, and it's going to be like when, well, give us, be patient, and it's going to take some time, but I think the first or second quarter we're going to start sharing more about it.
Love it. And one more question before I hand it off to Chris here, Pablo. How many pairs of sunglasses do you have on your desk right now? I've seen you switch it a couple of times. Let's pull them out, man. Yes, sir. Oh, those are my favorite one,
I,
the Cobain ones, right?
yeah, the Kirk ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a couple. It's a good way to just I don't know, like whenever you're in front of camera or something, you're kind of like also playing a character, and you're also
Yeah.
like putting a different side of yourself, and you just like turning on the extrovert side of you, and that's the way for me to just like, hey, this is me, but it's also just I would be lying if I wouldn't say that I'm also playing a character, a lively character that's always smiles.
Oh, dude, I love it.
So
I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna get some sunglasses for our next time we do an
Yes.
interview, and we're gonna
Yes.
go sunglasses.
Love it. Love it, Pablo. Love the energy,
yeah,
man. It's so hard to move away from the TV show and talk about something else because that's such a big deal. I mean, not only for Robotos, but the entire NFT space. We're so excited for you. I mean, I remember when I saw this news hit, I was so excited to write an article about it, to tell the world a Robotos TV show is coming. So again, congratulations to you and your
thank you.
team, Pablo. Um, can you talk about some partnerships and collaborations that Robotos has done with other NFT projects that you've already done, and maybe some that are in the works, if you can share any of those details?
Yeah, we have been uh, like a great, I would say, or partners in crime are communities like the Dead Fellas, Toy Boogers, Cool Cats. Shout out to Toy Boogers who are just
I'll see him in the
starting.
chat.
Yeah, and just like other collections out there, but we've always just like been. I think with Cool Cats and Dead Fellas, we started almost like around the same time, and so it was always they have always been an inspiration for us, like what they do and how they the things that they do with the community, and how like all the technical things that they do. So for us, they have always been an inspiration, and they have always been also like embrace the idea of just like a sharing and working together. So it's and Toy Boogers is it's a collection that started Do, Duke. He's a Roboto collector too. He's always in the community too, and then he started like creating his collection. So it's always great to just like work with other artists and creators like him. And yeah, just like other collections. Pablo, you signed an NDA. Yeah, somebody said this. Yes, I'm always just like working on just like giving leaks, and I need a lawyer.
We'll
We
take
So,
them,
love
man.
leaks. We love the leaks. We get leaks out of several projects. We love it. But yeah, the chat doesn't love it so much, but we'll see.
yeah, but yeah, just like I think it's something that we're always like working with those collections, just like a keep creating. At the end of the day, what we want to do is just like a uh, uh, how can we bring value to our communities, but also like for us, like how can we have fun and just experiment on this space. I think and whenever you create whenever there's a self culture, or whenever there's a scene like the NFT scene is, there's always these creators and the fans who work together on creating stuff, and it's always like we're at that stage of experimentation and on like creating more stuff. So it's always fun to just like work with other communities who are in other projects, who are here to learn and to just like push the limits of what can be done. And it's a really fun time to be in this space, because there's a lot of creators who are just like exploring different ideas, and we see that with the Cool Cats, the Dead Fellas, and another collections out there with Time, where like we're always like thinking about like what else can we do. So with this Web3 thing, and with these NFTs, and with these tokens, and with these coins, and with this community, what else can we do? What about this? It feels like the wild wild west, and because like we're that experimentation stage of this scene. Later, the corporations and the brands are going to come and they're going to standardize everything, and the fun is going to be over. Sorry, like it seems
Oh
like
man,
sooner
it's
than
happening
later.
already. Yeah. Yeah.
But right now, like all these creators, all these independent artists, like are pushing the boundaries of what can be done, and it's fun. It's just fun to do this stuff, and also like apparently there's also like at least for now there's a very good financial motivation for a lot of people. So that also brings a lot of fanatics and a lot of people who just like show just like passion for your projects too, so that also like keeps you motivated and keeps you creating. So and people who are here for the financial aspect of it, but also a lot of people who are just because this is cool, this is new, and we're all once you once you get into a scene and once you get into like a group like this when everything is starting. I don't know if this has happened to you. I'm pretty sure, but that's all you can talk about. That's all you can
Yeah.
think about, because it's like, oh my god, like you cannot go to sleep without thinking about it. And I'm pretty sure that either you involve your partner, your girlfriend, or your boyfriend, or whatever, into this, or they're going to get annoyed with you because that's all you can talk about. So
Facts,
it
man.
but it's really fun. It's right now we're at that stage, and I invite other creators or artists to just like come over here and have fun with this. And we've been lucky enough to have other communities like Time, Cool Cats, and Toy Boogers and Dead Fellas, who are also in that stage of like, I keep creating, and they have also like collaborated with us to just like go and be pioneers on stuff.
Love it. Pablo, a topic we talk about a lot on this show and with different teams is celebrities, right? So I got to share your tweet here. You recently tweeted out that Dennis Rodman bought a Roboto, and I love your tweet here. You said, I fondly remember seeing him play when I was a kid. He was a massive inspiration to all of us weirdos who didn't fit in with the classic mold. He taught us to be proud of our oddities. So Pablo, tell us what this means, you know, as a creator and also as a fan of him playing, what it means to see Dennis Rodman, you know, get involved with the Robotos here.
Yeah, well, I'll be a little bit open and vulnerable, but as a kid, like back in the '90s and growing up in Mexico, sometimes some of your weirdness will make you stand out, and not in a good way, you know, where like others will bully you or pick at you because like I don't know, like as a kid growing up, sometimes you're confused and you're trying to find like a meaning to everything, and while you're doing this, you're also trying to like, oh well, the meaning that has been taught by me to me, I don't like that meaning, you know, and you start rebelling to that, and you become you either become a punk or you become a weirdo, or I don't know, you find an interest in this. And I think as a kid, I was very confused. I was even confused about my sexuality. You know, I was confused about like, hey, I don't want to conform to the idea of just like of what a man is, like why a man has to be like this. Like I want to wear dresses too. I want to have long hair too. I want to paint my hair in different colors too. uh why is that restricted to only to only women? Like I want to do it too. I was like, women are having all the fun. uh, I don't know but at the same time, like having those kinds of thoughts, it was well, as a kid, like you couldn't have those thoughts, more in Mexico, like because you will be considered like well, I don't want to say the word, but well, yeah, I would say it in Spanish, but you would be considered like a maricon, and being a maricon was like not a good thing, and like
Yeah.
having different thoughts that were not like what every kid will think. Well, that will put you in that category, and being in that category will be a social suicide, you know. So uh, but also like you will commit that social suicide because you will be like, oh, well, the hell with all of you, right? And having Dennis Rodman, just like having people like him, and also like Kurt Cobain, like they were like, hey, it is as a kid, like seeing these people who were massive, who had massive popularity, and then saying like, hey, it's okay to wear a dress, it's okay to be weird. It was a massive inspiration for me as a kid, like growing up, and slowly made those kinds of weirdness a little bit more acceptable. So it's an honor to see Dennis Rodman having a Roboto, and I don't know if it was him. I want to believe that it was him. I don't know if it was him or his agent, or I don't know how it works. But they picked like a Roboto with a dress and also a beard, and having that fluidity in your and how you look, and how potentially how you identify. And that's something that I've seen also always in Dennis Rodman. So it was uh, it was cool. It was nice, and it was nice to see that, and also just like made me reflect on, like, as a kid growing up, and like seeing the Chicago Bulls, like back in those days, just back in the '90s. It was also just a massive inspiration for me. That was the only sport that I would play, like basketball, because of people like him. And so, anyway, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I'm trying to say that as a kid, like people like him were, for me, it was a way to just like accept my weirdness, and being okay with that stuff.
Love it. Pablo, I mean, love your openness there. We didn't mean for that to happen, but of course we had to talk about the Rodman tweet, and so thank you for sharing that. I remember watching Rodman as a kid, and those 90s Bulls were so dominant.
Yeah.
They were fun to watch. And Rodman was definitely a cool character to see on and off the court. So excited to have him enter the NFT space, over the recent weeks, and land that Roboto as well. I want to turn to Roboto Land for a minute. So, Pablo, can you give us an update on how Roboto Land is coming along, and when we can expect more updates on this part of the Roboto ecosystem?
Yes. So Roboto Land, or as we're calling it, the Microverse, the Microverse. It's this space where there are different places that represent different parts of the community of Robotos. So, for example, there you can see the Punk Mountain, also the Roboto Forest, and also the Mileto meadows, and just Robopolis, and different, also the flying Roboto pirate ship. These are We are working on all the tech side of it. We're pretty much just on. We also are working on a pretty much like our own game engine that will allow to bring your NFTs into these microverses, but also it's like we're creating the tools to also have creative control over like this space. So one of the things that we're doing is that as a Roboto collector, also we still don't know about Robo Pets how they're going to play, but if you have a Roboto pet, anyway, the idea is that you'll have creative tools to have in your space. That means that you will have like a studio that you can decorate, that you can bring other objects, you can make it yourself your own, you can invite others to come to your own little space, and also just like bring your own assets, or also add them from the marketplace. So that's something that we're creating. It's it sounds pretty crazy that we're like doing something like this, but it's pretty much just like a 2D game engine. Like one thing that we realized is that everybody is working on how to make the metaverse like more realistic and more like 3D, and just like feel like you're in there. which is great. I believe that the metaverse is a combination of different experiences that are that you can go between them. You can go to the metaverse of the Centraland or the metaverse from Facebook, or you can also go to the metaverse side of Robotos and the other things that we're doing. And we're doing it in 2D. We think that there's an opportunity to do these experiences in almost like a 90s, 80s kind of game that is 2D, where your character is just moving around like a 2D space. So that's what we're building. We're building the world ourselves, but also we are building spaces. So as a robotic collector, you can also have creative control over your space. You can claim your land, let's call it, but in a way it's more of an interior kind of setting, a studio, your house.
Love it. I'm enjoying watching this video just over and over. This animation, Pablo. Again, great job with this. Looking forward to that. One more question from me before I turn it back over to Maz here. You know, we saw that VCon, right? The inaugural VCon, Gary V Friends, he announced the initial speaker list. And I mean, this is a loaded lineup of people in the NFT community, and it includes yourself, Pablo. So what does that mean to be, you know, picked to be part of VCon 2022, and how does it kind of help validate you as an artist and the Robotos project?
I yeah, again, lucky enough to like Gary B is one became a robotic collector recently, and I think we because of the community what we building, we grabbed their attention, and they I don't know, feel lucky, fortunate that I was invited to just be part of that. And it feels like the Coachella of NFTs. It feels like I see the lineup, just even the flyer looks like a Coachella flyer. I was like, oh, is this like, for example, like in the flyer, my name is next to Mila Kunis. And I was like, wait, like what's going on? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'm just like below Mila Kunis. It's like, this is crazy. I don't know. For me, it's awesome. Like you're saying, like the validation for you as an artist. I yeah, I want to think that no, I don't need validation. My art is the validation, but no, like I need validation. I need people telling me, "Oh, you're cool, Pablo," or "Your art is cool." So we all need a little bit of that. So I think it's a validation not for me as an artist. I think it's more validation for the project and for the community, what we have been building over the past months. So for that, I'm really thankful and just feel lucky and grateful for. I wouldn't be there without the community. Like the art, NFTs and the art are nothing if there's no people who like them, I guess, right? And if there's a support from the community, shout out to all of you. Like that's what brings value to an NFT, and yeah. So I'm grateful for that.
Love it. Pablo, Christmas is this week, man. Talk to us. Are there any Roboto contests for the community?
We're working on a little another like a treasure hunt, and just the marketing team has been working on different activities. One of them is cookie cutters, and also like a little art contest for your Christmas. What do you call it? Like the ball, the ball
Ornaments.
Ornaments.
Ornaments. Yep.
The Christmas
There it
ornaments,
is.
the Christmas balls. And so like create your own, and we have just like a fun activity for people to just like during the holidays, let's do something together. For us, it's always about like creating stuff, and just like inviting others to just discover that creative side that they have. So pretty happy about that stuff. And also just like be it if you are on our Discord, just be uh, we're going to have another treasure hunt soon. So just be there, so you know, and we'll put on an announcement.
Love it. You know, Pablo, I remember being in the Discord the day you guys minted, and it's been absolutely crazy since then. And just going back now, the community you guys have built there is awesome. So if you guys are not in the Discord, make sure to check it out. The
Mm.
Robotos community is strong. We see them in the chat here, you know, so shout out to you guys for that. Want to talk to you, you know, NFTs as a whole. You know, 2021 was a crazy, probably unexpected years for NFTs. You know, I don't think anyone could have predicted that. Where do you see NFTs going in 2022?
Yeah, I think there's more mainstream adoption happening. So we're going to be seeing more of that. I feel we're moving in a way where, like, okay, we've all done these things. What else can we do, right? And I think gaming is a big part of this, and just like bringing utility to the real world, like something like how. Actually, Gary B, like they've done, where it's like the NFT like gives you access to different things, and it's more like a pass to events in the real world. I think we're going to be seeing more of this, where I think that's where NFTs are headed, where they're authentication of ownership or something, or like a pass to something, or gives you access to something. So I believe we're going to be seeing more of that, more on the gaming aspect and more on the metaverse. Whatever this metaverse is, we're going to start seeing uh, uh, more connection between this metaverse and the NFTs that you have. I so yeah, like for example, also excited about like what sorry, my God, foggy mind. But what the cool cats are doing, they're doing their own kind of a game too.
Yeah.
Also, the Dead Fellas are doing like on their metaverse on the Centerland, what they're building to there, and they're building like their own 3D characters. They're adapting the Dead Fellas to be 3D characters too. That's pretty exciting, because like these PFP projects, they're not right now. They're kind of a representation of your identity, like in a way, kind of like what you believe in, because of what if you have a PFP of a specific community, it kind of tells a little bit about what you believe in. And but now and we have been seeing like for example, like how on Twitter now is validating, where it's not just an image, but it's also going to be something that is authenticated with NFTs. So
Yeah.
like NFTs, and at least of the PFP projects, like are becoming more and more like an authentication of your identity on this Web3 space. So we're going to be seeing, I believe we're going to be seeing more and more bigger companies like adopting NFTs into their profiles and all that stuff, and also just like the gaming aspect, just like as your character, as your avatar, and and I don't know, which is fun too. Like I don't
Yeah.
know, it's is we're going to see, like, because the opportunities to do stuff are there, and it's up to us to decide what to do. So I don't know what I don't know, and but I'm excited about that, because it means that we're going to just like our minds are going to be blown.
Absolutely. You mentioned mainstream. I don't know if you've heard, but Coinbase is launching an NFT marketplace soon. Um, has Robotos been in talk with Coinbase about, you know, being on their platform?
Yeah, we have been talking. There's again, I cannot share a lot of this, but it's yeah, we're just really excited about like how this is going to make it really more easy for other people to enter the space. Just like lowering the entry barrier that exists right
Yeah.
now, like just creating a crypto wallet and just like understanding all the things. And I think having if you Coinbase has made it really easy for anyone to invest in cryptocurrency, and it just makes sense to go and add this to their portfolio, the things that you can invest in. So I don't know. We're just excited about the possibilities of bringing more people. But also, as you bring more people, I'm just telling you and warning everyone. The fun usually dies when when more people are like it starts building. Oh, validation! More people look. but also eventually the scene and the culture like sometimes die also when you have a lot of people. I'm also just predicting how one of the fun parts of all this, which is like, oh, NFTs, look at all the cool stuff that we can do, it will eventually normalize and it might not be just as fun. But I don't know if I'm being pessimistic there here. Uh, just as a creator, that's the side that I don't know. I get a little bit of scared. That's all.
No, you're right,
No,
man. Part of the fun of NFTs right now is, like you said, talking about it. We're in Twitter Spaces, we're in Discord all day. NFTs this, NFTs that. So it's such a new movement that I do agree with you to an extent that as it becomes more populated, we'll probably lose that touch that we have the small communities now. But it's going to be exciting to see where NFTs go in 2022,
Yeah.
especially for you guys in Robotos. We're excited for that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Are you
Pablo, this
cautiously
is
optimistic? Oh,
cautiously
sorry, I'm just like seeing
optimistic.
the stuff here.
Yeah, cautiously optimistic. I love that phrase. So
Yeah.
that's what we'll go with for 2022. Pablo, this has been great. Again, we love having teams on. We love hearing about projects, and we love bringing people back, and yourself included. We had so much fun with you the first time, Pablo, and even more fun probably today hearing about the TV show, Dennis Rodman, and more. I mean, just such great topics and great insight from you. So, Pablo, thank you again, and congratulations on all your success. And we look forward to talking to you soon.
Thank you, Mas, Chris, just like for doing this, for putting your efforts into just like bring the voices, the artists, the founders, the people who are creating exciting stuff in the space, and for I don't know, like thank you. I want to thank you and for giving me the opportunity to just like talk about all these crazy stuff and making it not sound as crazy. Thank you.
Absolutely, man.
Thank
You're
you,
killing
Pablo.
it. Hmm.
Awesome. Well, we will see you soon. All right. Take care, Pablo.
Bye bye.
See ya.
he's dancing his way out of here. All right. Well, Maz, I mean, that was so much fun, right? We had Pablo back, Robotos. It's just such a fun project, such a fun community. Shout out to all the Bados in the chat. I mean, Maz, we were watching the chat as this was going on. And I mean, you can see the love for Pablo and Robotos there in the chat. And I really liked hearing more about Robo Pets, right? And the fact that they're going to be included on the TV show, I think that might be some alpha there, considering the difference in price. But what do you think? What was some of the key takeaways from this interview for you?
Yeah, shout out Pablo, shout out Roboto's team. It's been awesome to see, like I said, Chris, earlier, we had them on when they first launched, and just seeing how NFTs and Robotos they've grown so much in the last 3 or 4 months has been exciting. I'm excited to see what's next, right? We're at a point now. Robotos is established, shout out Toy Boogers. We see them in the chat. Robotos, Toy Boogers, Cool Cats. There's like 1 or 2 more projects that are all kind of in the same ethos. And, I love joining their Discords, their Twitter spaces. And you can tell they're in it for the arts, for the communities. And it's just exciting times to be here right now before, we see this mainstream adoption, which is happening in real time. But, it's fun, like Pablo said, it's very fun. And yeah, this gets me excited to see. And just, I can't wait for, Pablo to come on in 5 months from now and see what's happened, then. So, exciting stuff.
Definitely. All right, Maz. Well, we're running out of time here again. I mean, you can tell that this interview was so much fun when we look at the clock now, and we're essentially almost out of time. Let's get to some news quick before we wrap here, Maz. We always talk about the top 10 NFTs by sales volume. And last week, Maz, I don't know if I want to say happy, but I am excited to report Axie Infinity was not the #1 project by sales volume. Clone X, $151.9 million in sales volume. Axie Infinity, $61.2 million. We also saw Adidas enter the list, $40.6 million. CryptoPunks, Bored Ape, The Sandbox, and then some newcomers, NanoPass and My Pet Hooligan, followed by Mutant Ape Yacht Club. Maz, how about that? Clone X knocking Axie Infinity down. I mean, ever since we started the show, Axie Infinity has been #1 each week, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, dude, we have Nike and Adidas in the top 5 already. Talk about that. It's
Yep.
insane. Um, Yeah, that's crazy to see Axie down. It shows you how much volume CloneX has. A lot of them is because a lot of their pieces are very expensive. We're
Yep.
talking couple $1 million pieces that are being traded, fairly frequent. So, that's insane to see. I just want to talk about the Adidas really quick. That drop was crazy, man. I've never seen so much volume for a 30K piece drop in my life. It was absolutely insanity.
And it broke OpenSea, broke
Oh yeah.
Scan. It was definitely a successful one. Uh, Maz, real quick, before we run out of time, want to hit on Steph Curry for a minute. So, for anyone who doesn't follow NBA, Steph Curry broke the all-time career three-point field goals made record. And with that, Maz, comes 2 NFT projects from Curry. So this is the first one on screen here. This is with partner FTX, which is a leading cryptocurrency platform, and getting into NFTs. So these are all feature the number 2974 that are essentially pieced together to make these drawings of Curry. And there is one for every three-point field goal made. So these go out tonight, $499 each. And then the second project we get is Maz, you just said Nike and Adidas. I am happy to report that Under Armour is launching their first NFTs, and it is with Steph Curry, who is a brand partner. This is also going to be a launch of 2,974, and they're going to be digital sneakers that you can wear in Gala Games, Decentraland, and the Sandbox, and will also be playable in Rumble Kong League. And those NFTs launching tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time for $333 each. Can we roll that video real quick on the Curry drop coming tonight from Under Armour? Man, Maz, I've been calling for it for weeks, maybe even months. I said, where's Under Armour? Under Armour is partnered with Steph Curry. Steph Curry has a Bored Ape. He loves NFTs. And guess what? Here we are, Under Armour officially launching into NFTs today. What do you think about that and them following Nike and Adidas here?
Yeah, it's interesting to see, but they're not using ETHs, right? So they're doing a different platform,
Yep. So it'll
right?
be,
So
when I went to the site, it did say connect wallet. So I guess we will see, but $333 USD is the price that was announced. So I guess to be determined whether that is ETH or not.
got it. Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely keep my eyes on that and try to get one or two. So that's exciting.
Yeah, definitely. And again, it'll be playable in, the Sandbox, Decentraland, and also that Rumble Kong League, which is building a 3-on-3 basketball NFT game. So super excited about that. Maz, it looks like we are out of time. So again, shout out to all the Bottos and everyone for joining us on the show, and shout out to Pablo Stanley for coming on for another interview. Maz, another great episode, and we will be back and talk to everyone soon.
Absolutely. Great episode.